we touched upon it a little bit before the podcast, was quote-unquote conditioning as part of your strength routines. Do you do it at all? Is it an individual basis? Because it seems like the universal strength and conditioning, MMA strength and conditioning coach workout is a 5-minute circuit with weights. Like that's the go-to for most MMA strength and conditioning coaches. So how do you feel about that with regards to what's the focus? And I know it's always going to change, but
yeah, so I can only really speak through my circumstances, and honestly, and all the guys that I do have worked with, and other coaches too that work with high-level MMA guys, you know, I would have said, yeah, I do circuits 5 years ago, because we all fucked up, you know. I mean, it is what it is. It happens. And
everything, and nothing's bad, right? Like, I think everything has its place. It's just when that's all you do, it probably becomes an issue.
Sure, and it wasn't, but I still threw it in there. Now I don't even do it. Because at the end of the day, they're getting a lot of lactic from all of their other wrestling and grappling and things like that. And what I see from my circumstances, and I'm talking only from American Top Team, and what I see with the higher level guys, is that they are training that particular aerobic system all the time. So for me, I'm going to focus more on increasing overall aerobic capacity, and then we can work anaerobic alactic, anaerobic power, aerobic power through the week, and I do it in a concurrent sequence throughout each microcycle. Because they're training that anyways, I might as well just increase it as much as I possibly can. And that's primarily in camp. Now out of camp, I want to go ahead and I want to build that aerobic base as much as I possibly can. So it's lower level, right? But they can do it more frequently. And then once we get into camp.
So what type of things would you do to build an aerobic base?
So it really depends on, the time frame that I have, and everything is always, it depends. But,
I get it.
Escalating density training is something I've been working with a lot with
I've been speaking about that recently. It's funny that you mentioned that. I love it, yeah.
And Joe, this is
it's crazy. it's
I promise I wasn't like scoping you out.
No, I know. Listen, what we're gonna get to at the end, I want to make sure I love talking training, but I want to talk to you just about productivity, because you're a busy guy, so I know you're not sitting there listening to everything I freaking say and do. You ain't got time to get your own stuff in.
Yeah, so I mean, we'll do that a lot with my heavyweights and light heavyweights, and even my older guys and girls, that are fighting that can't, pound the pavement a lot of the times.
Yeah.
I also do tempo runs with my lighter weight guys. They like to do that. I'll even do a beep test run just because they like that different type of tempo, and I'll always cut it out before we go into anaerobic. So obviously it's an aerobic based measure. So I like working with that. It's fun. It's different. The tempos change. Also just regular low level airdyne bikes and things like that. Just keeping a steady tempo and making sure the heart rate's around 120 to 150, 155, because my guys do have a very good gas tank.
Yeah.
That, and then we want to make sure that we're building that ceiling high so that we can increase anaerobic threshold.
Gotcha. And then so what does, I know this is going to say, the answer is going to be it depends, but a basic workout template. You spoke about all the things that you're trying to improve upon. What does a workout, what's a sample of what a workout might look like? From start to finish?
In camp?
In camp.
Okay, so in camp, if we have 8 weeks out, we're talking, you're going to be working more of overall strength, right? And then obviously the mobility, and then auxiliaries are going to be competitive posterior chain work.
Yep.
Right? That'll be 8 to about 6 weeks out. We're going to do an accumulation phase on 1 week. So 1 week microcycle will be accumulation. Then we'll go into intensification, which is the next week, and then realization. So then I'll go ahead and I'll actually test them off an AMRAP. Right? It's similar to Juggernaut, and I use that too as well. And then on the 5th week after that, we deload. I'll taper off the volume and frequency, and volume and intensity. And we'll do more mobility there, and maybe do some escalated density training, just some low-level aerobics. But I also like to keep them moving when it comes down to weight training. So we'll take 50% of their max effort, and then we'll do a contrast lift on that 5th week. So we'll do, or 5 weeks out, I should say.
Yeah.
4 weeks out, we're starting to work more speed strength. So we're moving the bar a little bit faster with sub-maximal weight. Still working on our mobility, still working on our posterior chain, oblique sling. Contralateral anti-rotation is very key for me too as well. Neck work, grip work, all that stuff is always constant throughout the entire time. 3 to 2 weeks out, now we're working more, getting closer into more speed end of the spectrum, from the force velocity curve. Yep. And from that, I'm going to be taking more of a lighter weight, but moving it somewhat faster. So it'll be something like weighted box jumps, heavier weighted ball throws, and then on the second week, now we're just working explosive power and maximal speed, doing some sled sprints, doing things I can't see. My guys aren't football players. They're not highly athletic. Let me just put it like that. So for me to sprint them, it's gonna look ugly.
Yeah, yeah.
Right? So I gotta do something. Maybe put a prowler in front of them. Maybe put a sled on them, and it changes up a little bit.
The prowler does help. Like
does.
sprinting with a pushing a prowler does help, because I have seen that some. There's a reason why fighters fight and they're not running track or playing football.
So to keep them safe and still get the adaptation that we
Yep.
require, I'm gonna go ahead and throw a light prowler in front of them. Maybe not even put any weight on it.
Yep.
You know, and then after that, you know, we're tapering about that half week out. And then the week out, they're worried about their weight cut. So that's about it for me, and I kind of just go over their weight cut from there.